Michael Sweet, Touched. 5 tracks, 20 minutes. This is actually a solo album made up of covers and originals, so only the original songs are available on streaming services. Released 2007 via Michael Sweet Productions, produced by Michael Sweet himself. The originals on this that one new song that's a strip, and the rest of it is all stripped back classic covers of Stryper. While the covers which aren't on this review, they came from artists like Billy Joel, Billy Preston. This album was dedicated to his wife Kylie, who was suffering from stage 4 ovarian cancer at the time of this going about. Dave?
I can appreciate the sentiment behind this. An album dedicated to his wife that was dying from cancer. It's really nice, classical, easy listening, sweet stuff.
This is you trying to be nice because you know that someone died.
Well, I was kind of thinking if I should go with the whole... See, I don't like Stryper because the lyrics shit me, but I kind of like what he's singing in this, but the music's really wimpy. But I can listen to this easier than I can listen to Stryper, so maybe his wife dying was a good thing because I can listen to this.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
And people thought the comments about fucking...
I know I'm a horrible person. I was trying to be nice,
Wow.
but yeah, it's not.
I hope to see him try and be horrible. Fuck.
I started off nice. It's a nice album dedicated to his wife. I didn't even write that whole thing. I don't even know why I said it.
I was gonna say you can hear the regret in your voice.
And you know it's going to print.
Yeah, it's not my thing, but it's well performed and produced. I do like Michael Sweet as a singer. It's just, it's not fucking... It's 6 out of 10, move on. I feel bad.
You dug a deep enough hole.
Alright, okay. You had to mention it was dedicated to his dying wife.
I'm going to get fucking touched.
So now you can't say all the nasty stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
So I have to say it was dedicated to his dying wife. I thought this was an audio representation of awkward family photos.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that.
yeah, like...
Why do I just think Wicked and Bernie's?
Oh no! Wow, this is going off the rails.
This is working.
Yeah, you got your result.
like
If this goes to television, we're never getting that Logie.
Actually, we might get it on the back of this.
like... You know those like straight-to-video Disney movies? And they've got the...
Princess Bride.
Yeah, like they've got the conflict in the middle of the movie and the backing track, and they always go into a song. Imagine an album of those songs. That's what this is. But about halfway through, I started to enjoy it. It went back around the circle and it started to become brilliant. It had the Plan 9 from Outer Space effect. Like, I don't know what it is, but like you know when you watch a bad movie and it just becomes funny and you watch it with your mates and you start drinking and it just becomes hilarious. That's what this album was. Anyways, I actually gave it a 4. It should have been lower, but I started to enjoy it, like for comedy factor.
Wow.
You have to mention the dying wife.
That alone, you could cut that out there.
Wow, man, I think you put Limp Bizkit this one in time. You want to follow this up?
Why the fuck not? Okay. Deep breath. Let's start with something. I really enjoyed the last Stryper album we did review.
Yep.
It's the first time I'd listened to Stryper since the 80s, and largely due to my issues with Jesus, and more particularly his fan club. It's not a great reason to avoid a band, but I'm sticking to it.
Yeah,
So the only one I could find is the original, so I don't know what the covers were like, and this really sounded like the kind of thing my mum used to put home on a Sunday afternoon after church. It's just awful. Yeah, he's got a good voice, but this is just sacrilege or fuck. I know it was dedicated to his tragically ill wife, but unfortunately that's exactly what it sounds like. It's morbidly tragic to listen to. It's like really awful, sad. So I guess he's doing his job. Yeah, look, it was probably therapeutic for him, and he was probably going through a process, and I hope it all worked out for him because it depressed the fuck out of me. It's well performed, but just too sensitive, or too tragic for my sensitive ears. I gave it a 4, I don't know why.
He's
should have done
Call
a
it
song.
sympathy.
He should have done a song. Jesus loves me, but he hates my wife.
I think this is going to TV. I don't think this is going to TV. Even for me, I'm sitting there going, oh.
I don't think this is going to YouTube.
Let's go to YouTube.
I don't think
you can get one of the highest hits we've ever had on YouTube.
This will not meet their bloody standards.
They have no standards. It's only copyright complaint they worry about.
Safely.
It'll get blocked. Michael Sweat will purposely come out.
Oh, I don't think we'll get any more. I don't think we'll get any more records from Frontiers Records after this goes. Jesus.
Yes.
Hey, my father's a minister.
That's not going to save us from hell.
Oh, we're all going to hell. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
Dave's driving the bus.
Oh, shit. Like I said, I think you've trumped Limp Bizkit so far. I think you've done the best. Now, piano, strings, and vocals. That's what this is built around. The backstory to this is incredibly somber, unless you're watching us. And as such, there's a bit of that reflected in this listen. I love the arrangement done to these songs. The piano performed by Peter Van Teen is simply wonderful. He really captured what is going on here and allowed the strings to sit back under it a touch, and Michael's vocals to shine out the front while you're sitting going, fuck off.
I'm having flashbacks.
I was classically brought up, so this for me is an easy
I'm
entry
not laughing
level.
at you, I'm just laughing at Dave.
I thought it's actually really well put together and well performed on all fronts. There are some incredible vocal harmonies on this. It's powerful, emotive stuff. This isn't going to be for everyone, clearly, especially not for those with any reverence whatsoever. Or it will be for people that have reverence. These ones don't.
Evens.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Alright, where the fuck was I after that?
Don't give it a
Now,
score.
this isn't going to be for everyone, like I was saying. It's laid back, stripped down stuff. But it's done that to show the power of emotion, and I think they've done that really well. I actually thought it was a shame to only have access to the EP, because while I don't think I'd spend the whole album on repeat listens from that, I actually want to hear how those cover songs were arranged in the context of what was done here. Huh?
I'll burn you.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I think it's really well arranged and put together stuff. It's, like I said, it's not something I'm going to put on all the time, but if you want to hear something different and just see how different songs can be rearranged in a very simplistic and stripped back way, I think this is well worth a listen. Production is perfect for the style, everything's captured incredibly well, it's blended and mixed just right. Michael smokes the vocal on this one, I think he did a really good job. It's not a virtuoso performance, but it's powerful because it conveys the emotion that he's feeling at the time. It's short, it's slower, and as such, you can't really talk too much about track order in the context of what I've got going on here, but there's, like the songs themselves, there's enough points of difference in the individual tracks to make each one sort of stand out on its own. It's little things like the way they're arranged, or like there's other things that there's swept chimes that come through and stuff to give songs certain emphasis. The completely original track on this, the one that was directly for his wife, is incredibly powerful. I would love to have known how she felt about that song, because she would have heard it before she passed away. So I would have liked to have known how she felt about that one. Yeah, I'm going to make you feel like a right prick. That's what I'm going to try and do. No.
You might as well go all the way now.
Oh, man,
You're almost there.
I'm just going to get you a
there.
shovel. I'm just going to get you a fucking bobcat or something. Just keep going,
I'm
man.
there anyway, so fuck it.
You're on your way to China at this rate.
Yeah, it's flat anyway, it's all good.
Right, this isn't for the wider public per se. This was for him, his wife, and his family. Not for the not for the wider public, but also the diehard fans. So I might get something out of this. It also shows how diverse and talented the man is.
Choice of words.
Oh well, I'm gonna run with it. He should actually get more props than he does, Michael Sweat. I think he's incredibly underrated because of the whole Stryper stigma. I think that he's incredibly talented and deserves a lot more credit than he gets. Not something I'll spend over and over again, but I think it's a beautiful little listen. I'm a sucker for this sort of stuff if it's done really well, and this one was done really well. If you don't mind it soft and emotive and are looking for something a bit different from a wonderful artist, check this one out. I gave it an 8 out of 10. My love, my life, my flam, and all of me. My standouts. Over to you.
Yeah, for me, I'm actually a huge Stryper fan. I love Michael Sweet. He has one of the most iconic, clean voices, and still to this day, still belts out an amazing tune. They were flawless as a three-piece this year when I saw them. Or last year now, I should say. Last year. I got into Stryper when Against the Law came out, and that was the last one. So I followed his solo stuff.
Yep.
I didn't go backwards with Stryper. I actually stopped there and followed him as a solo artist, and I knew
It's
about...
actually probably a pretty good way to do it, for the most part.
Yeah, and if you follow him through that, like, he does a lot of diverse stuff, and it's actually quite good. He's quite... A lot
of his stuff's pretty heavy, too.
Yeah, some of his solo stuff's heavy, and it's also got a lot of this stuff. And what I liked about this was a concept album around an orchestra only. You know, like, if you look at the covers and the way he's placed them, as well as his original stuff, it tells the story all the way through about his wife. And I thought it was an amazing piece of music put down, you know. Again, I don't go back to it.
Yeah.
Once in the bluest of moons, I'll go to it, but the layering of the strings, the piano, the way it's being mixed, the production, and his voice, where it sits and how it sits.
Done well.
Fantastic. This was a very ballsy album to do. Let's take the wife stuff out of it, just to go and do that, because of who he is and what they've always stood by is they're a religious band. Now, what I never understood was we've got bands, death metal bands or whatever, singing about killing people, and everyone never mentions how bad that is. But when someone believes in a certain faith, whatever that is or a thing, they get shit canned for it. If you actually take the songs for what they are,
they're good songs.
Stryper's a fucking good band. A really good band. You don't have to love the lyrics, but I don't love the lyrics in a lot of heavy shit, but I do like the bands. I don't judge people on what a belief is or something like that. This was the most ballsiest release I've ever heard. Try doing an album for someone that you love who's not well. You don't know if they're even going to hear this album, let alone, are you going to finish it in time or whatever else, have that going on, probably going from studio to hospital. Yeah. The emotion, everything is perfect. I think he delivers some of his best vocals he's ever done.
To get even a halfway decent take.
Yeah. I think it's a fantastic record, and the fact that you can only get an EP now doesn't sell it enough. Like, it should be the whole thing. Because,
I want to hear the whole thing myself.
Yeah. I give it a 10 out of 10.
Wow, cool.
And I'm not into that style of stuff, but I thought that was a fantastic ballsy record to do, and my respect for him as an artist just went...
Cool.
I'm just love what he does, and I don't follow any trend or any style, and I think that's what makes really good artists. You don't get that nowadays. Everyone's trying to jump and piggyback on a certain style. They've always just, this is who we are, take it or leave it.
Yep.
And I thought this album was all that and more. So yeah.
Cool. Well, now that we've managed to bring the mood back to some balance, we'll over to you and check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think.
Well, that had some light and shade.
Dude, I'm surprised you're not fucking burning.
Sweet is fucking amazing.
Dark
I always
as
love
fuck,
your solos
man.
too. I like it.
I don't think I can ever recover from that review.
Actually, all of you, but you were the worst, clearly. And then even when we tried to get it back, you just kept going. Oh, it's probably what killed us. No!
Scott Weiland comments got us some flack. That's going to go above and beyond, man.